You know what sucks? Putting in days, months, years into a job, into an occupation, to only get reminded constantly that you are easily replaceable. You are just a number. Do you know how frustrating that is? For your everyday American, your everyday European, whatever the case may be. Honestly, I don't know how it's looking in other countries compared to the US, but right now the US working class is struggling. It is struggling so bad. And I am a firsthand witness and victim of this system made so that way capitalism only works for the people already in those successful shoes. You know what I mean? Like it's just frustrating. And the reason I'm making a video on it today is because I'm fucking tired of it. I am tired of it. Live it. I need to turn the fan on, otherwise I'm going to start sweating my ass off because of how upset I am. Like that's how angry I am. So there, I apologize for the fan noise in the background. The reason I'm talking about this is because of my job. I am someone who works for a corporate company in a kitchen environment. Not like a fast food place or anything like that. More so like an entertainment industry. I don't want to say too much because shit, who knows? By the end of this video and all that, I might be fired. Who knows? But it is frustrating and sad. It is also really sad to see your everyday run of the mill person get moved up to a position of power or just into like a management position even. And it feels like they sell a small part of their soul or humanity for that position. It feels like they knew what it felt like to be considered a number, but once they got to the position where they were forced to look at people as numbers, that all went out the window. They disregarded it. They're like, oh, you know what? Time to fall in line. Time to not become a corporate shill or anything, but sort of become a lesser version, a husk of their former self. And it is sad to see people that are genuinely great people, you know, outside of work and all that, and just genuinely great people. But as soon as they clock in, or as soon as it is time to get into work mindset, it is immediately disregard all sense of humanity. That is frustrating. And it's, I'm going to just keep ranting about it. But the reason I bring that up is because I just dealt with something like that. I just got sent home early because of my blatant attitude and disregard for the job that I am being paid to do, because I personally feel like I am not being met in the middle. There is a very clear balance to all of these things. There's a very clear balance to employer-employee relationship and business to consumer relations. We already know the business to consumers is cooked. Like we've seen the headlines. We have seen what's going on behind the scenes with these megacorp CEOs being so disconnected from reality and from the people that actually put them where they are today, from the people that actually buy their products, put money in their pockets. We have seen the disconnect. The Kellogg CEO, the Disney CFO, who was originally the I forgot which company he was the CFO of, but like even like the Disney CEO, Warner Brothers, we've seen it all. However, something else that isn't talked about much is the more personal, closer to home level, aka your everyday interactions with your managements and your GMs and all that stuff. There's something that needs to be said about that aspect too. Because if you are ever working in a job, at any job, and you feel like there are concerns and needs that haven't been met and expectations that haven't been met, and you go to voice those concerns to whoever your boss is, whoever the higher ups is, even if you have to go beyond your boss to their boss, the GM, DM, AM, PM, whatever the case may be, and they are just completely disregarding everything that like you said or everything that you stand for, and it is just met with criticism or neglect or denial or defense, that is a problem. You should not feel uncomfortable, or you should not feel like your workplace is not a safe space for you to voice your concerns. There are legit whole systems put in place for this exact reason. The open door policy, that policy is literally meant for employees to feel comfortable going into a space with their employers and voicing their concerns without being apprehended, without being subjected to scrutiny, without being discriminated against because of their viewpoints or whatever the case may be. And harsh reality, bucko, wake up. It's not a real fucking thing. The open door policy doesn't exist. It looks good on paper. It is there simply to make people think that they have a voice, to make people think that someone will listen, but it's just not it. It's not. It's not. At the end of the day, these managers, these people in power, these, even like your typical, not typical salary employee, but just anybody that's just in a position where they control a level of the business or anything like that. And there could be some good managers out there. This isn't at you know, my boy who's sitting there busting his ass, making sure all of his employees are good. This isn't pointed towards you. This is pointed towards the people out there that simply only care about profit. They only care about making their location or their franchise or their building, whatever the case may be, only making that shit look good to the corporate. So the corporate can make that look good to their shareholders, and everybody wins, but nobody wins. Everybody is miserable. Everybody is burnt out. The people that are at the foundation, ground zero, level zero, the people that are there building the foundation for these businesses to succeed, your workers, your employees, are getting the shit end of the stick. The dookie is rolling down the hill at a exponential speed. We're talking like Mach 20 here. Unheard of precedents. And me, everybody, we cannot keep up with it. The demands is not meeting the expectations. And when I say that, I mean, you can demand a lot from us, but what are you doing to meet our expectations as an employer? Do I feel secure in my job? Or do I get good benefits? Is my schedule up to par with current fucking economic living wages? Can I survive off of my pay? Can I? Those are the questions that we are all asking, and they can't give us an answer. And that should bother a lot of people, and it does, but not enough people. Unfortunately, lower class, I'm a part of the lower class. I fall below the poverty line. So, like, unfortunately, we don't have a voice. We don't have a say. Things get decided for us. Government programs, etc. That all gets decided for us because we don't feel adequate enough sometimes to go in and make the decisions of who we put into office and who we elect to be the bridge, you know, between government and that class of people, or between that class of people and just the rest of the world, the rest of the country. We don't have a voice. It's been that way since the 80s. Come on now. And it's taking the middle class to be affected, which is what's happening. What we're seeing now is middle class Americans are starting to get affected hard because they've usually, I'm not gonna say I've always had like a cushion or anything like that, but like if you were middle class, things weren't amazing. You know, you weren't a part of that top percentage, but things weren't terrible. You weren't living in slums. You weren't dealing with high crime rates, etc. You weren't dealing with layoffs. You weren't dealing with work being stretched far and thin. You weren't dealing with having to struggle to find a new job. You weren't dealing with transportation issues, etc. Whereas now, all of these things are issues for everyone. And it all stems back to these greedy ass shareholders and corporations absorbing and taking in everything in their wake. They are like the fucking War of the World, or not even, no, that was a terrible analogy. They are like your average college frat boy butt chugging. It all goes down. They all take it all in, and they don't care what's left. They don't care who gets what. You can get the bones off the plate, but nothing more. And they are fine with that. And for some fucking reason, we are fine with that. And it's sad, it's frustrating, and it is angering. I myself am getting tired of, and this has been every single job that I have worked at for like the past 3 or 4 jobs. So I'd say like the past like 8 or 9 years, almost a decade now. Every single job that I've worked at, I have put my all into it, my soul into it. Not on some grind your way, you know, not the idealistic, capitalistic mindset of everybody can get a piece of the pie. Everybody can become that top 1%er. If I work hard enough, I can take over this company and become CEO. Because I got to think realistic. I'm not taking over anything. All right, that's not happening unless I make it for myself and start it from the ground up. It's not happening. All right, I'm sorry to tell you, it's not happening. You can't grind your way to CEO, chairman, corporate. Some people it does happen, but that's after how many years? How many years of just selling away or just giving away something that these jobs can't buy back? That was something that I seen a clip a few months ago from Clarence, of all things Clarence, like the kids show on Cartoon Network, kid with like that. That had a scene in it that hit hard, and it felt like it wasn't meant for children. It wasn't supposed to be a part of the cartoon. It felt like the people that were writing that show, you know, your everyday, the people at the bottom that catches all the shit with their hats and their buckets. It felt like that was a message directly from them to us. And what was said was, you know, it talks about how people have jobs and the reason why we get jobs and all that, because it was a conversation between two kids, and it's like, yeah, you know, you get older and you get a job, and what do you do with the, that's what it was, what do you do with the money for that job? And Clarence was like, oh, happy stuff, etc. And he's like, no, you pay for bills, you pay for colleges, and you pay for this, that, and the third. But when it's all said and done, you realize that you spent so much time at that job. I don't remember it word for word, but the overall idea was that what is the one, like, there's something that job took from you that no amount of the money in the world can buy back, and it's time. It's your life. It's your everyday, day-to-day hobbies, activities, spending time with your family, bettering yourself, bettering your education, getting more knowledge. Some jobs do, a lot of trade jobs, a lot of blue-collar jobs offer, you know, schooling and all that. But for your other everyday average American, the one who's been fed a bunch of bullshit about needing to go to college to get a college degree, and now it turns out college degrees are basically fucking worthless, and now we all have a shit ton of debt that none of us can pay off because our wages aren't suitable enough to even get a meal put on the table half the time, majority of the time. That's a problem, bro. That is legit a problem that nobody is talking about, and I am getting so tired of it affecting my everyday, day-to-day living. Why is it that I am struggling, right? Struggling financially, mentally, emotionally, all of the above. And the only thing that I ask when I come into these doors, when I clock in, is just for fair treatment. Treat me with the same respect you treat each other. Treat me and my schedules. Treat my time with respect. You know what I mean? Respect my work ethic, because that's what I went off on a tangent about Clarence, but that's what I was talking about when I was talking about my past, like, work experience for the past 10 years. All of these jobs that you put in your all, they don't care, because you can easily be replaced by the next fucking idiot who knows nothing about the job, who knows nothing about the bullshit that goes on behind the scenes. So they're just happy-go-lucky, ready to put in that work. And what happens the second that light or that filter gets taken off, and they go, damn, this shit is ass, this shit sucks, I don't know, maybe 110% wasn't the way to go. Like, maybe I just do the bare minimum, or not even the bare minimum. Like, maybe I just do what I gotta do to get by. Just do the job that you're getting paid to do and go home. They start trying to find ways to get rid of them. You want to know why? Because they would rather have revolving doors 24/7, constantly, extremely high turnover rate of blissfully unaware people fucking maintaining establishment and maintaining order, and that super low fucking standard that's being held across the board in the workforce right now for just jobs in general and how employees are treated, et cetera, et cetera. They would rather hold that super low bar and have these people stay and work for a month or a year, or whatever the case may be, 2 years before they leave again, and just keep replacing that because it's cheap. To an extent, there are jobs that it costs to train new employees, but they want to, let me rephrase that. They want to maintain that productivity. They want to make themselves look good on paper. So they can say, oh, damn, our turnover rate is at like a staggering 89%. But look at how much money we're making. Look at how much money we're making. Because you also want to know why? Because the people that stay and deal with the BS and all that, they're not complacent with dealing with all of the shit that rolls down the hill for what they're getting paid. So what do? They start asking for higher wages. They start asking for better benefits. They start asking to be treated fairly and equally. And it's, oh shit, like, well, we don't want to do that. Let's make their job as hard as possible for them so that they either quit or they snap and we can fire them. Legit, I have legit heard that method being used. Like, I kid you not. That is something that these employers are doing. Once they realize that you're over it and that you want shit to improve, they want to get rid of you as fast as they can so they can maintain the status quo. And that's not being talked about. It's realized. We all fucking know it, but we just don't care. We're comfortably numb to it all. And that's a word that I used in the last rant video that I'm working on right now. But it's the truth. We are comfortably numb to just this idiocrat. Fuck. Just bullshit. Where you're just numb to bullshit. And I'm getting tired of it. I am genuinely getting tired of it. If you want me to put my all and to give you the time, the valuable, valuable time, because that's something else that I think a lot of people don't realize, that like, take care of yourself and all that, but a lot of people don't realize is that time is everything. There is nothing in this world that is more important than what you do with your time. What you do with your time. That is number one. That is number one for me. And that is the reason why I have had this mindset with YouTube, have this mindset with work, with whatever I am doing it 110%, because I need to know if this is worth my time or not. And I will never know that if I'm not giving it max effort. I will never know if it's meant for me. You know what I mean? And so when people are joining streams and stuff, and Mose, you need to get rest. Mose, you are working too hard. Mose, it's like 4 a.m. for you. Go to sleep. And I'm like, I haven't gone to sleep. Bro, like straight up, I haven't gotten good sleep in the past 3 months. The past 3 months, I've been going to bed as the sun is rising, and then getting about 1 good hour of sleep, and then it's on and off for the rest of the time that I'm laying down, and then I have to get up and get ready for work. And that is my day, nonstop. When I am not at work, I am on this computer. I am recording. I am streaming. I am editing. I am maybe every now and then I am playing a game to decompress and relax. But even that isn't interesting to me. Like that doesn't do it for me anymore, because I just am at this point where like I can rest, I can sleep, I can have fun when I'm where I want to be in life, when I'm successful. But you want to know what's the most fucked up part about all of that is? I didn't make it that way. I didn't choose this for myself. The world put this on me. A lot of Gen Zers out there, even millennials, are facing it and stuff. Like the world built these circumstances for it to be a all or nothing, for it to be a you've got to find whatever works for you quick, lickety split. There is no time to figure out what you want for yourself. There's no time to figure out where you want to be in life. I have friends who straight up like cried to me and everything and been like, bro, like I don't know what I want to do with my life. And I've had those moments where I've straight up cried too, because it's like, why am I here? What is my purpose? And I am not given time to figure that out. Everybody has a reason, everybody has a gift, something to give back to the world, and for me, I am still stagnant on that thought of, for me, I don't think stagnant's the right word. I'm so upset. My diarrhea is coming out of my mouth. I'm sorry. But for me, I think it's still being a film director. I still think that I have powerful messages and just things that I want to get out there to connect the world a little bit more, and to just have people be able to relate and take something from that experience and grow from it, whether it's a film, whether it's a short film, whether it's a show, whatever the case may be. I have a feeling that like that is my purpose. I have done nothing to go to move towards that goal. You want to know why? Because I can't stop thinking about survival. I am stuck in survival mode 24/7, and I guarantee you, anybody around you that you ask, they will probably give you the same answer. Like people will be like, I'm going to be a CNA. I'm going to be a mechanic. I'm going to be a CDL driver. I'm going to be whatever the case may be. Is that what you genuinely wanted to do? Or is that the quickest, easiest solution that you can come up with the amount of debt and the amount of things that you have piled on your plate and the amount of pressure you have and the amount of, I have to get something that's quick, I say, certain amounts of those things are investment. But a lot of people, and that's the reason too why you are seeing people go into the medical field, and you are seeing all of these crazy ass stories about these scandals and these doctors and these nurses and these people that don't care about their patients. And you want to know why? It's because that's not what they wanted to do in the first place. That was never the goal for them. They still haven't figured it out. They are doing this to survive because they need money. They got to put food on the tables. You want to know why? It's there, plain as day. You might have to do a little bit more deeper thought of, damn, this doctor fucking sucks. Damn, this mechanic keeps upcharging me out the ass. It's because that's not their fucking passion. They don't care about genuinely helping people. It's because they were put there unwillingly, without choice, because the world forced them to. The world forced them into survival mode. Forced them into, like, look, my fucking hair is crazy and everything. This is how livid I am. Forced them into get a job, make money, and survive. Just get by. Don't live comfortably. What do you... Vacation? PTO? Overtime? Benefits? Are you fucking crazy? Are you fucking crazy? Are you insane? bring them. Are you insane? This is America, baby. There is no. Come on now. I didn't turn my mic sensitivity down. There is no growth. There is no decision. There is no time to think because we are constantly being preyed upon and suffocated with information, with scandals, with scams, with terrible decisions made by people that aren't even going to be here when those decisions directly affect us. Nobody's been talking about retirement. When was the last time you've seen a conversation about how the future is fucked when it comes to retirement? When was the last time you've seen a conversation about if the world is even going to be here because of nuclear armament and where the world is headed in political, geopolitical terms? Nobody, well, granted, the furthest the conversation is getting these days is your opinion is wrong, my opinion is right, fuck you. That's as far as it's getting. Instead of it being, hey, the fact that we're having this conversation at all is a fucking problem. We shouldn't be even arguing about humanitarian rights, about the necessities, our God-given right to live. None of us are getting that God-given right to live. And we're arguing over who makes the most sense. Whose argument is dummy proof because it doesn't align with our beliefs. Who gives a fuck, bro? Who cares about your beliefs? There are people fucking dying every day. Who cares about if they said something you didn't like, if they want to do whatever they want to do with their life? And I am one of those people, if it doesn't directly affect me, I don't give two shits. But you know what does directly affect me? These wages. These housing crisis. Shit. If you really want to get into it, if you really want to dive deep, these wars, they do affect us. These offshore wars, they do affect us. You want to know why? Because all of these different places that are getting affected, they bring in income or outsource employment or bring in, like whatever the case may be, it affects us. It may not be directly to your house, like you're getting a letter saying, hey, because we just killed these guys, you no longer have access to this. It's not directly been put out there, but that's half the time. That's the reason these prices are getting jacked up. That's the reason why these fucking conglomerate, these megacorp are just absorbing everything. You know, that's the reason why megacorps own majority of the housing in the U.S. That's the reason why these politics are being placed in the position of power that they're being placed in to be able to continue these wars because it's profitable for these mega corporations. Who is the biggest contractor for Nvidia? It's the fucking U.S. military, bro. I'm like, it's a U.S. military. SpaceX. That's the reason why the space industry itself is booming the way it is. It's because it's become more commercialized to make more money for them. What happened to the days of space being about bettering and advancing the human society or the human species? You know what I mean? Like things like that just aren't being talked about anymore because people can't learn to agree to disagree. People can't learn to agree at all. This is a 23-minute fucking rant video about me ranting because I'm just sick and tired of work. But the thing is, I can't change work. I can't change corporations. The only thing I can change is how many more people are informed. And the reason why I can't change work in corporations is because of how high the hill goes, you know? The very top, the shit that's coming down, that's starting off as a giant fucking snowball and slowly working its way down to we're just getting fucking rabbit pebbles, you know? I can't control the flow, but I can control the information. I can control who's in the know. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's just frustrating, man. It's just frustrating to constantly, every single day, be reminded why I don't have a choice. To be reminded that I am living check to check. To be reminded that there is no growth. Because these top 1%ers, because of these fucking demons in sheep's clothing. Fuck wolves in sheep's clothing. These are demons in sheep's clothing that walk among us. They don't even walk among us. They look down at us. And they look in disgust. And they look in predatory mindsets of how much can we squeeze from them? How much further can we push the envelope before they say enough is enough? And we haven't stopped that in a long time. The last time minimum wage was raised was in 2009. It's almost 2 decades. Bro, it's been almost 2 decades since the minimum wage has been raised. But you want to know what has been raised? You already know, because you're struggling to pay it all off every fucking day. Housing, food, fucking infrastructure. SEPTA is going through a crisis right now. SEPTA is Pennsylvania's like public transportation, for those of you that don't know, for those of you that live outside of the U.S. But SEPTA is a government funded, or I believe it's a government funded, yeah, it is, a government funded public transportation agency that provides trains, buses, etc. They're cutting. They are snipping away. No more routes for certain areas. No more drivers, because we can't afford it, because we are not getting the proper funding needed. You want to know the biggest issue that I don't see anybody talking about? The current state of education. These people, these fucking greedy assholes are so steadfast on profit and making the most that they don't realize that that shit cannot go to the grave, bro. Your money does not go to the grave with you. So what happens when these future generations that have been set up and doomed to fail from the start can't take over? They can't manage these finances. They can't manage these megacorps unless you're a fucking Nepo baby. It's a wrap for these corporations. It's a wrap for these industries, because no one wants to take over the mantle. Well, when was the last time you've heard a peer say that, yeah, I'm striving to be a politician, I'm striving to be a owner of a business, without the reason being because they want to be their own boss? Half the time these people are like, yeah, I'm striving to start my own small business, etc., etc. It's because they don't want to work for the big man. They don't want to deal with that fucking bullshit. They want to make something for themselves, but in doing so, they realize that it's an unfair battleground, and only the big boys are winning. Everybody else is left to their own devices to fend for themselves with zero help, zero anything. And it's sad. It is sad. It's disgustingly sad. It is. The amount of pot of greeds being summoned on this battlefield is insane. And it's not being talked about enough. And I know this is a very opinionated rant. I don't care, because I feel like my opinion matters. Your opinion matters. Even if it's the complete opposite of mine, it still matters. And you know what's crazy? None of our opinions matter to the people in charge. None of our opinions matter to the people able to make change, like genuine change. Our politicians, our judges, our business owners, the people that are putting the money into the pockets to fund politicians' belief systems, to fund their decision making. Our voices don't matter. Our opinions are muted. You can have whatever fucking stance you want, but guess what? They don't care. They don't care. You're just a number supporting them. You know what I mean? Even if I release this video name dropping company after company, name dropping manager, boss, etc., like going hard, they only benefit from it. All I'm doing is giving them exposure, because there are still brain dead fucking consumers out there that are going, doesn't directly affect me. I don't care. There are people that think they can afford this way of living. They think they can afford these products, but they are just barely getting by. They are just barely affording these things. They are still, like, even it's getting to the point to where the middle class Americans are living check to check. And that's the point that I was trying to make earlier, is that everybody is starting to become affected. It's not just the Gen Zers or the people going into retirement, etc. Like, there are people that are genuinely all across the board getting affected in some way, shape, or form, and they are getting tired of it, but they just aren't saying anything about it because because they don't have a choice. And it's fucking sad. It's disgustingly sad. But all I can do is just tell you, just let you know how I'm feeling. You can do what you want with that information. You can decide to do more research if you want. I'm not going to do the research for you, because we are all able-bodied people. Some people like their information spoon-fed to them on a silver platter. Shit, I'm one of those people at times. And then I can choose to make mindful decisions based off of that, or if I want to do more research into it and dig deeper into it, then I shall do that. But I can only do so much with little power I have. All I can do is stay informed. That's all you can do is stay informed. It's going to take our wallets closing. It's going to take our efforts diminishing. And what I mean by that, it's going to take us going on strike, putting our foot down. That's what it's going to take for things to change. Otherwise, open up your mouth, open up your bucket, get your what do they say? Get it back up on your bootstraps, motherfucker. Like that shit. I'm getting tired of it. But get ready. Accept that shit. Accept the feces that is, because it's not going to stop until we make it stop. Until we all as a collective go, no. It's going to keep going. It is what it is. And it's so fucking sad that there are people in this country and in this world that are willing to deal with that shit because of how shitty their lives are, because of how shitty they have it. I'm one of those people where, like, I'm slowly getting out of that of, I don't care how bad I have it. Like me personally, I refuse to work at another Walmart again. I refuse to work at Walmart. I got into it with the manager, the store manager, the motherfucker that's supposed to make sure shit is getting run properly and to make sure that everyone is satisfied, employees and consumers alike, and not just the fucking shareholders and owners, but everybody. I had a full-on, damn near yelling argument with him on why I should be trained. On why I should be trained, bro. They were not trying to train me. You want to know why? Because I am just another number that can get thrown and fed to the wolves. Get with it or go home. And if I go home, guess what? Somebody else will take that. Somebody else will get that done. Whether or not they want to. Because you want to know why? Because they need us. They need the money. So we are at a point where that's not going to change until those people too, the people that are willing to take these shitty ass jobs, are able to realize that you shouldn't have to take the job in the first place. There is no reason that you should even be, like, you shouldn't have to deal with that, bro. Across the board, we all should have jobs that we feel are sustaining us, that we feel are fulfilling. You know what I mean? It's getting the job done for me and for you. I'm getting the job done as an employee. I'm giving you my hard-earned time, or I'm giving you my time and my work ethic, my hard-earned, like my labor. And in exchange, you're supposed to give me a comfortable, safe work environment where I am getting suitable wages for myself and my family, whatever it is that I'm trying to do. And a place where my concerns are being heard and feedback is being listened and appreciated, and it actually worked into the business plan. You know what I mean? Why am I fighting tooth and nail for a better schedule? You want to know what I was told? During the summer, there is no overtime. There is no full time. You want to know why? It's because they're trying to maximize profits and minimize losses. Losses being, we got to pay all of these employees. That's a loss to them. That's a fucking problem. The employees that build the foundation of the job, that build the fucking industry up from the ground up, that maintain all of this. We have to figure out a way to pay them as little as possible. Make it make sense. But there are still people out there that are like, I will do it. Fuck it. I need money. And that's sad. That is sad that we are in that state right now. That we are so willing to take that shit because that's all we have is shit. That's so damn sad and degrading and disrespectful, and it's just so, it is such a low bar, such a low hanging fruit. We are just eating it up. But that's all from me. I'm talking until I'm blue in the face. I'm giving myself another headache. I've had a headache for the past 3 days from how much I've been frowning because of how much shit that I've been getting at work and how much shit that higher ups have been giving me for voicing my concerns, for voicing. I just got told right before today, right before I left, that my higher ups were just talking shit about me. Not talking shit about me, but this is when I started to get a little bit personal. I got to be careful because I'm not trying to lose that job or those connections or anything, because I am someone who I don't have a choice. Now why do I have to balance voicing my concerns with keeping my job? That's so fucked up, bro. But before I get into specifics and too personal, I'm just going to end it there and just leave you guys with that to ponder. Ponder it. Don't ponder it. Take it at face value. I don't care. I just needed to vent and get that out there. Thank you for listening. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Goodbye. And I hope that you do listen and take something from this and decide for yourself what is best for yourself. That's all. Don't let these people take advantage of you. Don't let these soulless corpo creep assholes take advantage of you. Even directly, your boss, your manager, don't let them take advantage of you. If they are asking you to push in an extra 20 hours of overtime, okay, cool. So you're demanding a lot more from me. What have you been doing to meet my standards? What have you been doing to improve my overall and to improve the overall quality of work? To improve the overall to improve the overall environment of working for you. What have you done? Are my expectations being met? I'm excelling at your expectations. Are mine being met? I'll just leave you with that. Bye-bye.